Okay, I think everything's working now. How's it going, YouTube? Sorry about that delay. There seemed to have been some technical difficulties, but as you can see, we're all working now. Everything is fine here now. Thank you. How are you? As you can see, we are over 2,000 encounters deep into Route 103 of Pokemon OmegaRuby. On our way to hopefully getting a shiny. Remember, the odds are 1 in 4,096, which means that 2,048, that'll be the halfway mark to odds. I really don't know if we'll get a shiny today. We can hope. About now is when I'm guessing we could expect to maybe see one sometime. Anyway, let's get everything else out of the way. The music in the background is by the one and only Glitch X City. Go ahead and look her up on YouTube. A link to her channel is in the description of this video. And also, as you can see, the donations right now go towards a brand new PC graphics card, so I'll be able to bring more impressive content for you guys in the future, including better live streams, which should include Switch and Wii U games, which I'm unable to do right now, and also be able to bring PC gaming content to you guys. Whoop. Anyway, so we have 86 people in here right now. Thanks, guys. 86 people on a Thursday afternoon. How about that? Let's see. What's coming up? Well, let's see. I'm working on a gaming room. If you guys follow me on Twitter, then you'll have seen a few of my updates on that since I started. Yesterday, I just built some shelves to put my games on, and I tweeted a picture out last night. It's awesome. I really am looking forward to seeing how it looks when it's all done and being able to show you guys as well. On top of that, let's see, Saturday, of course, is the Splatoon 2 Splatfest, which is the very first Splatfest for Splatoon 2, a full week before the game comes out. Anyone else looking forward to that? And if so, tell me what team you're on. For over here, it's Team Cake versus Team Ice Cream, but I think it's different for some other regions of the world. So if you're in another region of the world, tell me what it is and what you chose. Duffy, yeah. Unfortunately, I only make one title card per month. Basically, I just see who has pledged prior to me making the title card, and then I make the title card and just use that throughout the whole month. Don't worry, it will be fixed in August. Not to worry. In the meantime, you do get the other perks as well. Like, if you donated $5, then you still get to play with me. We haven't had our monthly game yet, waiting on Splatoon 2, I think. So, yeah, you'll be able to play with me this month. So, nothing to worry about, Duffy. Which shiny would I prefer on this route? Well, I'd prefer either a Wingull or a Poochyena, because I already have a shiny Zigzagoon. But if I get a shiny Zigzagoon, it's fine, because that just means I'll be able to move on to Route 104. And after I get a shiny on this route, I will switch back to Sun and Moon and hunt for a new shiny there. Not sure what, but it'll probably be a Gen 7 Pokemon of some kind. Will, I don't believe that I followed anyone on Amino, to be honest. I don't think I have followed anyone. So, sorry about that. Sing Woomy Bells? No, I'm not going to sing Woomy Bells. That's Kyanna's song. Let's see, other than that, Splatoon 2 itself comes out a week from tomorrow. Anyone else as excited as I am? It's going to be a whole lot of fun, I think. Yeah, Splatoon 2 comes out a week from tomorrow. Another Switch game called Fate Extella comes out on July 25. And yeah, those are the only two Switch games this month. Next month and the month after are going to have so many games, it's not even funny. It's really cool. What's my favorite shiny evolution? Probably Sylveon. Why is there a deadline on the PC graphics card? Because there is a deadline on all my donation goals. That's just the way that the thing is set up. So, I just chose a generic date, basically the end of July. I made it that. If the goal is not met by then I'll just go ahead and move it to the end of August and just keep moving it until donation goal is until donation is made. I know there's a better word, but you know what I mean. Basically, the donation goal will always be there until it is met, and the date does not affect that. No, I won't be able to get a shiny Rayquaza in this game. It's locked to never ever be a shiny. Same with Groudon and Deoxys, but all the other Pokemon I believe can be shiny, so yeah. Yeah, Taco, that's what I'm planning on doing, but even then, I'm not sure if I'm going to even, like, count it as once they fainted, they're dead, just because it's so hard to get Pokemon in this game. I might just keep it, like, I can revive them as much as I need. We'll see as the game progresses. Luckily, none of my Pokemon have died, so we haven't been faced with that yet, but I have yet to decide what actually is going on with the whole if they faint, they're dead thing. Come on, where's Splatoon 2? Well, considering Splatoon 2 isn't out yet, and Nintendo literally doesn't like me, you know. I say thanks Nintendo a lot, but when it comes down to it, they actually do not like me. So, they know I exist and they do not like me. The only reason my channel still exists is because the Pokemon Company know I exist and they love me. And they basically talked to Nintendo on my behalf and said, hey, leave them alone. So they've left me alone. Unfortunately, that also means I don't get review copies for stuff, which is unfortunate, and that means I can't get games early, which mostly I just want for you guys. Like, being able to put out Splatoon 2 content a week earlier, like, you guys would love to see that, but it is what it is, and I already have a plan of how I'm going to handle Splatoon 2. I'm going to get it on release day that morning, just going to go to Best Buy, pick it up, along with Splatoon 2 Pro Controller and all the amiibos that I pre-ordered. Like, it is probably going to be $300 worth of stuff that I'm picking up that day, no joke. But it is what it is, and all in all that day, I only have 2 amiibos I need to hunt for, and that's the alternate Corrin, which is an Amazon exclusive, and luckily I should be able to get that just fine. And the Inkling Squid, which I'm having a hard time thinking won't be common. So yeah, the only shiny I'm missing the only amiibo I'm missing right now is Majora's Mask Link, just because I failed the hunt for that. Hopefully it goes down in price sometime and I'll be able, or even more preferably, hopefully it gets a restock sometime and I'll be able to pick it up. But until it does, I am always going to be that one amiibo short, which is unfortunate. That being said, I'll have all the Smash Brothers amiibo, so I'll be able to make a video showcasing every single Super Smash Brothers amiibo, which is awesome. Anyway, like I said, Splatoon 2 Splatfest is in 2 days. I will be videotaping it. I will not be streaming it, unfortunately. Like I said, my computer's not powerful enough to stream Switch games, but I can record and edit and put it out on Tuesday at my usual time. Then Splatoon 2 comes out a week from tomorrow, so next Friday. I'm going to have a lot of content for you guys soon after that. Let's see, next month, I'm sure most of you know this, but there will be a solar eclipse in the United States. And I'll be driving to South Carolina to see it. So if any of you happen to be in the area around Columbia, South Carolina, let me know and I'll try and schedule a meetup. Mythic, to answer your question, not in this run, but eventually, yes, I do want a shiny living Pokédex. What is the ShinyLocke? Asks the Netherrack Torch. It's a self-imposed rules. The game is not altered in any way, but basically, the rules are this. I can only catch shiny Pokemon, and I cannot progress in the game until I catch a shiny Pokemon on the route that I'm currently on. So, I cannot go to Route 104 until I catch a shiny here on Route 103. Yes, it does, Duffy. What's my favorite weapon class in Splatoon? I just like the regular, whatever they're called. Guns? They're not called guns. What are they called? Whatever they're called. I just like the regular ones. Oh, really, Angel? How about that? Why does Nintendo not like me? Because I've been very vocal about the stupid decisions that they have made. Like the biggest one, like, I think what really got their attention was when I made my video blaming them for how they handled the Pokemon World Championships last year. Basically, it was almost literally we didn't know we weren't allowed in until we got there. So it was like almost a wasted trip. The only reason it wasn't is because we went to Disneyland afterwards, and that was fun. And I know it wasn't Nintendo's fault, it was Pokemon Company's. Pokemon actually apologized to me personally for that, said they'll handle it better this year, and it looks like they have. But, like, I hate Nintendo because, like, the Wii U was stupid, the whole concept of it, the name, the branding, the marketing, everything was just horrible about it. But my biggest gripe with them is with Amiibo, well, I guess I have several, but, like, I'm not meaning to rant here, but I think I came to Nintendo's attention first when I complained about Amiibo and how they were intentionally creating an artificial shortage in order to increase demand. And it made it practically impossible to find them unless you stayed up until 3 a.m. hoping that there was going to be a pre-order that night, which I did. But I was fortunate enough to be in that position. A lot of people aren't. And then also with Breath of the Wild, you know it was originally supposed to come out in 2014? 2014. Yeah, they delayed it over and over for 3 years. And I called them out on it and said, if I were in charge of Nintendo, I wouldn't even announce the game until it had a solid release date. Not a year, a date. So if it were up to me, I wouldn't have even acknowledged that there was going to be a new Zelda game until I could say for sure it'll come out on March 3, 2017. Nintendo is very old school. They are run by the same people who ran it in the 80s. In the 80s, it was fine. But we're 30 years past now, and those people will not give it up for younger people who know how the world works. And them hearing me say something like that is enough for them to say, okay, well, we don't like you now. They also don't like that I'm not part of their partner program, but I don't have to give them money. I'm with a YouTube partnership that has shut off the Autobot that scans videos to see if there's anything copyrighted in them. Basically, that means I can upload anything I want without risking getting a copyright strike. I can still get a manual strike, but I don't have to worry about automatic ones. Nintendo does not like that. They want to milk every penny from YouTubers that they can. And that's another reason I don't like them, is because, have you seen how they treat YouTubers? Need I say more? Like, that alone is enough for me to not like them, because I don't know if you noticed, I'm sort of a Nintendo YouTuber. If you're up to Nintendo, there wouldn't be any footage of their games at all on the entirety of the internet, but because there is, they try to control as much as possible. Whereas, say, Sony is like, oh yeah, you got our game, go ahead and play it all you want. Here, we'll even provide you with a way of capturing up to an hour of footage at once and upload it straight to YouTube. Sony and Microsoft are up with the times and Nintendo's not, because they're run by the same men who ran it 30 years ago. That is the long and short of it, and that is why Nintendo hates me, and that's why they didn't send me a review copy of Splatoon 2. Anyway, we are almost halfway to odds. 2048 will be the halfway point. So just 10 from now. Maybe we'll get a shiny at that point, maybe even sooner. Who knows? That's the fun of shiny hunting, honestly, is being able to... You don't know when you're going to get a shiny. Finny, what game are you talking about? Because I don't have a Pokemon team, if that's what you're asking. Well, I wish Nintendo was like Sony as well, but we kind of have Nintendo to thank for the PlayStation being around, because, yeah, I mean, if you look at the 90s, that's when Nintendo really started making stupid decisions. Like, they created their own biggest enemies. They created the PlayStation. They created the Xbox. All because they refused to keep up with the times, and they refused to cooperate with Sony and Microsoft. So Sony and Microsoft were like, screw you, we'll go ahead and make our own console. And it's just like, we are the biggest gaming company in the world. You don't stand a chance. And now look at the market right now, and you can't help but think maybe Nintendo is like, And honestly, it makes me smile just seeing them fail that bad. They're so confident that nothing can ever top them, and now look at them. They're number 3 in the marketplace. Wait until the Atari box comes out. That might even overtake Nintendo. Then they'll be 4th in the marketplace. That would be hilarious. That'd be poetic. What's my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon? Latias. Okay, Joanna, this is the second time I'm timing you out for that. If you do it again, I'm just going to flat out ban you, because I don't want to have to deal with that. Here's the thing, Nintendo makes the best games, seriously. Breath of the Wild, I mean, most people have bought a Switch just for that game, myself included. They make some amazing, beautiful games, like some of the best ever made. But their business decisions are some of the stupidest ever. So it's hard to hate them entirely, but I think it's okay to hate their business decisions, like the NES Classic. They're basically throwing away money by limiting that release. Just saying. Anyway, would I like to get a shiny Heliot tile? I've already gotten 2, and one of them's already highlighted the videos on my channel. Have I ever joined a clan in Splatoon? Well, I mean, my group is kind of a clan, isn't it? Me, Fishy, Choco, and Kayana. Did I pre-order Splatoon 2? No, I didn't. Basically, I don't want to risk pre-ordering the game and then not getting it on release day, or going to pick it up and turns out it was not there, but it's all fine because I'm a Best Buy GCU member, so I could just go to Best Buy and pick up the game at the crack of dawn and still get my discount on it. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, just to get it as soon as possible. There we go, we're halfway to odds. When we are twice this number from now, we will be at 1 in 4,096, which is odds for a shiny appearing. Hopefully we get one before then, but yeah, you never know. Dark Matter, I'm definitely planning on that. I'm planning on streaming Splatoon 2, maybe Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, maybe even ARMS. What other games would there be? There's tons and tons of Switch games. I have every physical Switch game right now. Mooney just donated $5 trying to give you something every time I can afford to. Thank you so much, Mooney. Hype in the chat, everybody. Look at that. We're up over $90 now. Thank you so much, Mooney. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I have every single physical Switch game and some digital ones too, and I would love to share them all with you guys as much as possible. And I just can't do that right now because my computer's not powerful enough. Will I do funny moments for Splatoon 2? I'm planning on it. I don't know why I wouldn't. Like, Splatoon Funny Moments is my most popular series right now. So, capitalize, views, money, yeah, and all that stuff. How's my day going? It's going great, Tom. I actually just woke up about an hour ago. Maybe a little earlier than that. It had to have been earlier than that because I've been streaming for half an hour. I guess an hour and a half ago. Anyway, L. Evans, the problem with 1-2 Switch is it's not an online game. It's a local-only game. Kayana lives in the Netherlands, Fishy lives in Canada, and Choco lives in New England, and I live in Texas. So I am very far away from any of them in order to play the game with them, unfortunately. What's my favorite generation? Gen 2. Least favorite video I've made? I don't know. I try and make all my videos good. I guess... I don't know. Huh. I'd have to think about it. There's a lot of videos I don't remember making. I mean, I made over 1,000 videos, and a lot of them most people haven't seen, just because it didn't look like something they'd be interested in. there might have been a game that I agreed to promote, and then the more I played it, the more I realized I didn't enjoy it that much. Crashy just gave $7.24. Glad I catched you stream again. Thanks for your amazing content. We're up over $100! Woo! Hype, once again, in the chat, everybody. Come on, that deserves hype. Come on, hype, hype, hype. Yeah. What's my opinion on Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon? I haven't played it. I have no opinion yet. We barely even seen a trailer for it, and we don't even have box art yet for either of them, so yeah. I need to blow my nose at some point. I was cleaning up my house a lot, so there's a lot of dust in the air, and I'm allergic to dust, so I'm going to need to blow my nose here soon. And yeah. Actually, I'll probably just go do that right now. Be right back. Like, this will just take a second. Yeah, much better. Much better. Woo! Can I stream Fire Emblem? Well, I have Fire Emblem Awakening, so I might stream that sometime. I don't know. I don't have anything else. Obviously, the Fire Emblem games on Switch I will be getting, and I'll probably stream those. Can I do a house tour? My house is nothing to really look at. But when my gaming room is done, and it'll probably be done a lot faster than I thought, then I will do a tour of that. So, yeah. What's my favorite and least favorite Pokemon from each generation? Favorite from Gen 1 is Nidoqueen, least favorite is Buck. Favorite from Gen 2 is Bayleaf. Least favorite is probably Fortress. Favorite from Gen 3 is Latias. Least favorite is... I honestly don't know. Maybe Cast Form? Oh crap! My thumb got a little heavy there. Favorite from Gen 4 is Lucario. Least favorite is probably Magmortar. Favorite from Gen 5 is Samurott. Least favorite is Garbodor. Favorite from Gen 6 is Fennekin. Least favorite, I don't know. Gen 6, there aren't many Pokemon I don't like from Gen 6. I like practically all of them. I'd have to think about my least favorite from Gen 6. Maybe Zygarde. I'll go Zygarde. Favorite from Gen 7 is Salazzle. Least favorite is... I'm not a fan of Necrozma, honestly. My favorite generation is Gen 2. We're up over 100 people watching. This is twice what I usually get. Thanks, guys. Where are all of you coming from? Is it time for us to reveal our plans of Delister people? My favorite from Gen 6 isn't Helioptile. It is Helioptile. I'm sorry. Why did I say Fennekin? I think for a second I was thinking of my favorite starters from each gen for when I said Fennekin. No, my favorite from Gen 6 is Helioptile. My favorite Pokemon movie is Pokemon Heroes, which just turned 15 yesterday. So yeah. Duffy is to keep people from spamming very long messages and then just copy and pasting it over and over and making it so that it lags the stream, basically. Do I know the game Team Fortress 2? Yeah, I know of it. I've never played it myself. What's my favorite everything wrong with Pokemon movies? Honestly, it's Hoopa the Clash of Ages. Just because that movie I actually did not like at all. So those sins aren't me just nitpicking, it's me actually just saying what I'm thinking as I'm watching it. Most of the others, like, I have to actually think about what's wrong as I go. I have to put myself in that mindset. Hoopa in the Clash of Ages, though, like, that movie's just not a good movie. How do you donate on iPhone? I recommend using the link in the description. Because I don't think there's a super chat button. Who's hyped for the Metroid that is coming end 2017? You mean Metroid Return of Samus? I'm looking forward to it. I pre-ordered the game, and I don't have many 3DS games that I get besides just Pokemon, so that should tell you how excited I am for that. But I'm more excited for Metroid Prime 4. This is coming from someone who's never played a Metroid game in my life. But I am stupid excited for Metroid Prime 4. Like, I'm so hyped. Am I excited for Gen 4 remakes? As far as I know, it's not happening. What am I most hyped for about Splatoon 2, and what am I not like the most? Well, I'm most hyped for, honestly, the single-player mode. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to Callie. I know people have put it out in their review copies already. Do not spoil it for me. I will find you, and I will shoot you in the knee if you spoil it to me. I'm most excited for the single-player campaign. I'm least excited, I don't know. I wish that at least some of the special weapons were returning. I mean, I know why they're not, and I kind of agree with them not, but I wish that they were anyway. Whatever. How old am I? I'm 25. Which is hard for me to believe. I've been 25 for over a month now, and I still think I'm 24 for some reason. But I'm 25. Have I ever played a Mortal Kombat game? I'd like to say I have, but I only have once, and I think it was on one of my cousin's Genesis consoles back when I was really young, before I knew what it was. I only remember it so vividly because they put in the code that added the gore and all the morbid finishing moves, and then he played some of them, and I was sort of scarred from that. Then I saw Mortal Kombat later in life, and I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what it was. But I didn't realize it was Mortal Kombat at the time. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that Metroid Prime 4 will be a 2019 game. Everyone's saying 2018. Haha, you guys don't remember Breath of the Wild, do you? Haha. And no, seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if it's delayed till 2019. And honestly, if it means a good game, I'm fine with that. Oh, absolutely, Knuckles. I welcome any fan art that you guys have. If you have fan art, you could either tweet it to me or you can send me an email. I really appreciate any fan art you guys have. Seriously. Am I excited for Saturday? You betcha I am. I'm probably going to do all, what, 3-4 hours of the Splatfest? Yeah, 4 hours. 4 straight hours. I'll probably do all of it. I won't tell you what team I am. You'll have to watch my video on Tuesday to find out. What's my favorite game? Pokemon Silver. Why do streams always end up being like Q&As? Well, I mean, what else are you going to do while you shiny hunt? There's not much to really do and talk about after a while. So I just turn to the chat and say, well, do you have any questions? I'll be happy to answer them. Pearl or Marina? Honestly, I like Pearl more. Just me. Will I play Smash 4? Well, I have Smash 4. I don't know if I'll actually play it. See, the thing is, my Wii U isn't hooked up to my computer anymore. I ended up moving it to my new gaming room, and I'm hopefully going to get a television for that room tonight, actually. And it's hooked up to the TV, not to my computer, so I can't exactly capture footage for it anymore. The only 2 games I have for it are Smash 4 and Splatoon anyway. Like, anything else I used to have, I sold or traded to get new ports on the Switch. Maybe someday I'll go back and get those same games again, but probably when the Wii U is a retro console and I just pick up some games for cheap. I don't know. We'll see. Favorite Smash 4 character? Well, the one I'm best at is Yoshi. I'm actually kind of good at Yoshi. My favorite is a good question. Very good question. I'd have to think about it. But the one I'm best at is Yoshi. And he's my main. In Splatoon, why am I a girl Inkling? Because I like the girl Inkling design more than the boy Inkling. That's the way it is for most games. Like, I prefer the girl design more than the boy design for the most part. And it's not because I identify as a girl or anything. I mean, I'm like the exact opposite of that. We just got a $15 donation from 6th of Cyan Endures. I love you, Skul. Hype once again in the chat, everybody. Seriously, guys, come on, hype. I said hype. Where's the hype? I don't see the hype. There we go. Thank you, everyone. But yeah, like, to say it, as I was saying, I'm like the least, like, I am the most boyish boy that there ever is. But I just like playing as the girls because their design is awesome. That's all. Anyway, seriously, you guys are being very generous with your donations today. I cannot thank you enough. Like I said, it's all going to graphics card, and we're almost a quarter of the way there. That's awesome. My favorite place to vacation is Walt Disney World. I've been there, holy cow, let me think. I think 5 times in my life already. I went once when I was 4, which was during his 25th birthday. I went once 10 years ago. Once on high school senior trip with Sadazay. That was our first time we went together. Once for a second honeymoon in 2015, and then once again this year for my birthday. So 5 times to Disney World, plus twice to Disneyland, including once last year. So that's 7 times I've been to a Disney park. And we're already planning on going again in 2019 when Star Wars Land opens, and then again in 2021 for the park's 50th birthday. That's going to be fun. I'll be one of the only people in the world who can claim to have gone for both his 25th and 50th birthdays. That'll be awesome. But yeah, my favorite place to vacation is Disney World. I'd love to go on to other places, especially like New York. I would love to go to New York next spring, but we'll just have to see if it actually happens. Like, if I was making as much money as I should on YouTube right now, then I'd be fine, but we're kind of going through an adpocalypse, so I just don't know if I'm going to be able to go. I'd love to, but we'll see. Finny, I appreciate it, but I'm not accepting shiny Pokemon donations. Basically, at this point, I'd like to get every shiny Pokemon I can on my own. It's just more rewarding to me. I appreciate the gesture, though. What's my Twitter? It's @SureToGoldTCG. A link to it is in the description. You want to go to San Francisco? I went to San Francisco last year for Worlds. Honestly, it wasn't that bad, but it was just... The whole time I was there, I was just like, ugh. Because we got there, we found out that we weren't let in to see the event, to see Worlds. So it was basically, we went to San Francisco and just had a full weekend of nothing to do. So we ended up seeing a lot of the sites, which was really nice. And then, like I said, we did go to Disneyland afterwards, but while we were in San Francisco, I didn't enjoy it as much as I think I should have. But that's fine. It was all good. Will I be at PAX Prime later this year? No. I went to PAX Prime in 2015. I was bored out of my brains, and I'll probably never go again. Unless PAX paid for my trip. I think that would be enough to let me go, but they probably won't. There's a lot of bigger people than me to go to these events. I did go to PAX Prime 2015 as a special guest to give a panel, but only like 10 people came to that panel, so it wasn't really that interesting to me. So yeah, 2015 I traveled a lot. I moved from Nebraska to Texas, then we went to Disney World for a second honeymoon. Then we went to Boston for Worlds, and that was after we had gone to Indianapolis for Nationals. And then after all that, I went to Seattle for PAX Prime. I traveled a lot in 2015. It was awesome. Kirby, if you were to pay for my trip, then yes, I would definitely go to PAX Prime. But I'm warning you, it was like a $3,000 trip. It was not cheap. And that was a lot cheaper than it would have otherwise been, because I got an insane deal on an airline, and they gave me a free weekend badge because I was a special guest. But between all that and the hotel and the rental car and having to pay for parking, it was really not cheap. Favorite Pokemon game is Pokemon Silver. It's my favorite horror movie. I don't watch horror. I don't want that garbage in my head when I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm very easily influenced by what I see when I'm awake. So I much prefer sleeping with pleasant thoughts. Oh, thanks, Manuel. My favorite Pokemon spin-off game. Does Pokemon Stadium count? Because if so, Pokemon Stadium. Do I like rain? Well, I don't mind it. I mean, I live in the Houston area, so we kind of get rain a lot. So it's not like I have a choice. I like it okay. Favorite Disney movie besides Frozen and Zootopia? Wow, those are my two favorite films, aren't they? Excuse me. Thing is, Disney makes a lot of really good films. Like, I'd say my hierarchy would be Zootopia, then Frozen, then The Lion King, then Bambi, then Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, then Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. Like, there's a lot of really good Disney films. Like, a lot of really good Disney films. What's my favorite weapon in Splatoon 2? Well, haven't played Splatoon 2, so I don't know yet. Actually, speaking of Disney films, Disney's next film is Ralph Breaks the Internet, and that comes out next November. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of a marathon. I'm going to watch every Disney film in chronological order, starting with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, which turns 80 this year. Think about that. I'm going to watch one a week leading up to the release of Ralph Breaks the Internet. So that means I have to start in October this year and then watch one a week. And I think Ralph Breaks the Internet is going to be number 58, I believe. So that's what I'm going to do. And I really wish I could stream that for you guys, because I think a marathon would be fun, but you know, that's straight up copyright infringement, so I can't do that. But yeah. Did I see Cars 3? No, I did not. I might see it, but I'm waiting for the DVD. The thing is, like, from the reviews I've seen, everyone's like, it's better than the first, it's better than the second Cars, but that's easy enough. But not as good as the first Cars, and I didn't even enjoy the first Cars that much, honestly, so I might see it on DVD, I don't know. I mean, it is Pixar, but no one asked for a Cars 3. That's the thing. Am I excited for Wreck-It Ralph 2? Well, I enjoyed the first one, but the thing was, I watched the first one after the second was already announced. I thought two things while I was watching it. One, that it's probably going to be outdated within like 10 years because of it's focusing on video game characters, and stuff like that does date pretty quickly. And two, I didn't think that it deserved that it needed a sequel, as opposed to Frozen and Zootopia, where after watching them, I wanted to know what happened next. Whereas with Wreck-It Ralph, as I watched it, I was like, this doesn't feel like it needs a sequel. This is just fine on its own. Of course, that's just my opinion, and I'm sure Ralph Breaks the Internet will be an amazing film. Disney cannot do any wrong right now. I'll definitely go and see it. I'm excited for it. It's kind of like the Han Solo movie. I'm excited for it, but does it need to happen? I mean, that argument could be said for literally any film or anything whatsoever. It doesn't need to happen, but whatever, you know. I'll watch it. I'll be excited for it, and that's all that matters. Also, beginning tomorrow is D23. I know most of you don't know what it is. It's basically a Disney convention hosted by Disney themselves. I'm looking forward to seeing what they have this weekend. I think we're hearing rumors of all sorts of additions to their parks, all sorts of panels on upcoming films, and maybe even announcements of new films we haven't heard about yet. That would be awesome. Do I still collecting Pokemon cards? I no longer collect Pokemon cards. In fact, I don't have many left. I ended up shipping all of my cards off in bulk to someone a week or two ago. So that's basically it. I still have a lot of Ultra Rares that I would love to just sell and get rid of. I'm only keeping basically a few cards. I'm keeping all my Helioptiles, although I won't be displaying them anywhere. I'll just put them in storage for the most part. I'm keeping my Latias Gold Star, which is my favorite card of all time. I'm keeping my Full Art Latias and Latios from Plasma Freeze. And I'm keeping my Pokemon Heroes subset from Japan, just because I love that one so much. Sad is keeping her Platinum Arceus Complete set and her Japanese Arceus movie mini set. But that's basically it. Everything else we're selling. Or have already sold for the most part. So yeah. Yeah, I sort of made that clear like a year ago, Animation Trainer. Basically, like, I had begun losing interest in Pokemon cards for a long time anyway. Like, when I moved down here from Nebraska, that was the first part, because there's no one else down here for me to share my enthusiasm with. Basically, for like a year or so, I had to basically trade cards through the mail exclusively, which is great, and that really allowed for me to interact with my fans a lot more than I was able to before, but it just didn't feel the same. It felt more like a chore. Combine that with the fact that there's, what, 30 plus Ultra Rares in packs now? They're all worthless, but there's so many of them, it's more expensive than ever to keep on track of it. And then basically the last straw was how Pokemon treated their fans at Worlds last year. They're like, oh, you came all the way here just to spectate? Well, sorry. And that was just like, you know what, I don't care anymore. I don't get any enjoyment out of it. I tried opening up like an Evolutions box just to open it up, making it clear, you know, I'm not keeping these cards, but you guys like to watch me open it anyway. But everyone made it clear, no, we don't. If you're not enthusiastic, if you don't want to watch it, then like, okay, I won't open it anymore. So I finally just say, you know what, I don't want to keep these cards anymore, so I got rid of them. Hopefully going to a better home for people who actually appreciate them a lot more than I do. You know, I don't regret collecting cards or anything like that. I mean, that's how I got here. That's how I'm here on YouTube now. Oh, feel free, Finny. I would love to see that. So, yeah, I just, that's the long story of why I no longer collect cards. The short story is, I don't care. That's basically it. What's my favorite town? What is my all-town favorite game? My all-time favorite game is Pokemon Silver. In fact, I have a copy of Pokemon Silver that I just put a new battery in a month ago, so I'm having fun taking my sweet time playing through that game like I did the very first time all those years ago. Yeah, I'm old school, people. Pokemon Silver was the very first Pokemon game I ever owned. Well, that's not true. I had Pokemon Trading Card Game for Game Boy, but it was the first main series Pokemon game I ever owned. So, that's part of the reason why I love it so much. It's just because nostalgia, basically. Will I get a Super NES Classic? I'm not planning on it, but you never know. I mean, it does have Star Fox Zero on it. What I would love most is to get an actual Super NES and all of the games that'll be on that. Like, particularly Super Metroid, Yoshi's Island, a few other games. I would just love to get an actual Super NES and play the actual cartridges on, rather than get an overpriced emulator that happens to have Star Fox 2 on it. Do I have every amiibo? I'm currently missing Majora's Mask Link. I'm not going to pay $50 to get it off eBay. I'm hoping for a restock sometime. But that's the only one I'm missing. So I'm happy. Am I going to get Pokken Tournament DX? Yes, I am. I already have it pre-ordered, so hopefully I'll even get it on release day. Of course, the last time I pre-ordered Pokken Tournament, it didn't arrive until, like, you know how Amazon has that guarantee it'll be there on release day by 8 p.m.? Pokken Tournament came at 7:55, so it was way too late in the day for me to stream it. I just had horrible experience with that game. It was just not good at all. So hopefully Pokken Tournament DX treats me better. Yeah, Vixini, but that's still way too much for me. I'd rather pay $12.99 plus tax. That's the most I will pay for it, because that's how much it's worth. Yeah. It's my favorite Pokemon, Helioptile. My least favorite Pokemon game, Pokemon Emerald. I'm not a actually, no, I take that back. It's this game, Pokemon OmegaRuby. How many Pokemon tournaments have I been in? Well, I participated in several when I lived in Nebraska, just because I lived in Lincoln, which was the capital, so that automatically meant all the big tournaments were there. I participated in many pre-releases, a lot of battle roads, and then league challenges when it became that. And I participated in states. I placed about half in states. Out of 30 competitors, I think I placed 14th. Which is kind of surprising considering my luck that day was just horrible. But I've never participated in anything big like Nationals or Worlds, but I have gone to those as a spectator. And I used to recommend that people go if they could, but, you know, Pokemon seems to not like the idea of spectators anymore, so can't really recommend that anymore. Anyway, am I on Pokemon Showdown? No, I'm not. I am not competitive at all in the Pokemon TCG. No, Willem. My rules are this. I can only catch shiny Pokemon, and I cannot progress in the game until I catch a shiny. So, I'm on Route 103 right now. I can't go to Route 104 until I catch a shiny here. And I haven't decided on the whole lives thing yet. I haven't decided if when they're fainted they're dead, or if, since it's just so hard to get shinies in this game, especially early on, that I'm just going to ignore that. Where's the best place to train for Red in Pokemon Heart Gold? You could either just go through the Elite Four multiple times, or just stay at Mount Silver and just work there, I guess. So I think Nintendo Switch will get a restock. I know for a fact it will. It's been getting consistent restocks about every 2 weeks. I really recommend that, like, you follow. There are Reddits and there are Twitter accounts and all sorts of notification sites that let you know when restocks are happening and where. I recommend that you follow as many of them as possible in order to find when you're find a restock so that you can get it. Okay, Cheryl. Yeah, you're flat out blocked. You get timed out, and then you come back and you say that. Yeah, you wasted your chance. Sorry, not sorry. Good job. You're not timed out, you're banned. Yeah. Anyway. Wait, what do you mean you got a Splatoon Dark Matter? Well, that would be awesome, wouldn't it, Mythic? In this case, I really don't think it's Nintendo's fault. They're making them as quickly as they can. It's just the demand for them is way higher than anyone anticipated. They were like, okay, we're going to aim for 2 million units in the first month. They sold almost 3 million. Now they're like, okay, we were hoping for 8 million throughout the first year, but it could be as much as 16, and now they're saying they're going to even make 18 million and hope that that's going to be enough. Which I think is awesome, personally. Like, the fact that the Switch is doing this good is a good thing. It does make it hard for people to find one, but I think if you wait, like, a few more months, then it should be easy enough to find them on store shelves. Maybe not. You might not be able to truly find one anywhere you go until maybe next year, but it will happen sometime, and that's a good thing. Do I know or have assumptions on how you have to pay for the monthly subscriber thing? You should be able to pay for it with an eShop card. I don't see why you wouldn't. Personally, like, I have credit cards and stuff that I use for all my online subscription stuff, so I'm just going to use that. Everyone seems to be complaining that Nintendo will even be having the service. Let me put it this way. Microsoft and Sony have been charging $60 a year for their services for a long time, and no one has batted an eye. Nintendo's charging $20, and they're giving you way more perks than what Microsoft or Sony was doing. So, I'd say it's worth it. What's my opinion on Keldeo and Swords of Justice? I don't know that movie. I know of a movie called Curum versus the Sword of Justice. Actually, I met Vic Mignogna at a convention a few months ago. He voiced Keldeo. I told him I loved him as Keldeo in Pokemon. He looked at me and he just smiled like, yep, I have made it far in life when someone recognizes me for Pokemon. He's a really, really nice guy, too. That's the only actor I know of who I've met who had a voice in Pokemon. But yeah, that was awesome. Do I think or hope there will be a Diamond Pearl Platinum remake? I hope there's not, but I think there is. I mean, I really hope that all these signs that there will be is a red herring, but there's so many signs. I really think it's going to happen. I wish it wasn't. Can I D a Shantae game? Well, I have Shantae Half Genie Hero on Switch. Like I've said, though, my PC is not powerful enough to stream Switch games, so I'm unable to do that now. Once I get the graphics card, I'll be able to. And if anyone wants to know, this is my favorite Glitch X City song, Johto Gym Leader Remix. It's funny, when I first met her, I told her this was my favorite song of hers, and she was just cringed like, oh, that one? Why that one? It's so old. What's my favorite N64 game? Oh, good question. I'd have to think about that, actually. I played Mario Kart all the time when I was younger. So I'm probably going to go with Mario Kart. Mario Kart 64. Oh, you met Aiden Christensen? Awesome. I would love to meet him. He seems like a nice guy, too. I mean, everyone complains that he did a bad job as Anakin. No such thing as a bad actor, just a bad director. Seriously, have you seen Shattered Glass? He was phenomenal in that. So, yeah. It was George Lucas's fault. My favorite Wii game? Super Mario Galaxy 2. I like that one. Oh, good luck, Maximum. I'm sorry. How many videos are on my channel? Over 1,000. I don't really keep track of how many videos there are. As long as they're good, that's all that matters to me. Do I think there will be a Diamond Pearl? I just answered this, but I think there will be. I hope that there won't be. Here's the thing. If you have Diamond and Pearl, you can currently play them on your 3DS. So why would they remake a game that you can already play right now? That just doesn't make sense to me. My favorite shiny is Zoroark. My favorite Pokemon is Helioptile. Oh, I just said my issue, Sheer Squid. Why remake a game that you can currently play on the current hardware without any problem whatsoever? Plus, wasn't Platinum a remake already? It was a better remake. It fixed some of the problems in Diamond and Pearl. It added a lot of awesome stuff. So why would you want a Diamond and Pearl remake again if... I don't know. I'm against remakes in the first place. For the most part, they're unnecessary. I prefer playing the original game on the original hardware. I understand that not everyone has a DS, and not everyone has Diamond and Pearl, but if you wanted to play Diamond and Pearl, you can buy them for cheaper than getting Ultra Diamond and Ultra Pearl. Or whatever they're going to be called. You get the idea. So that's just what that's my opinion on it. Obviously, Nintendo loves their remakes. They've been doing it with Zelda for, I think, longer than I've been alive. They've been doing it with Pokemon practically every single generation. I mean, I'm playing a remake right now, for crying out loud. I mean, the new Metroid game is, in essence, a remake of Metroid 2 Samus Returns. Nintendo loves doing remakes, because you don't have to make anything original, you just need to use current hardware to retell the same story. It basically is a quicker way of getting games out that they know will sell. That's what it comes down to. My favorite legendary Pokemon is Latias. Where do you shiny hunt Zoroark? Well, you can't shiny hunt Zoroark specifically, but you can shiny hunt Zorua on Route 101 in this game. After you have beaten the Elite Four, then you can Dex Snap for Zorua. Or you can Masuda method, which I think is faster. My favorite Zelda game is Breath of the Wild. It's just, in my opinion, Breath of the Wild is the best game ever made. Now, there's a difference between the best and my favorite. My favorite game is Pokemon Silver. But Breath of the Wild, in my opinion, is better. It is the best game ever. So, yeah. Oh, we're up to almost 150 encounters today alone. Nice. Yeah, Mew is a mythical Pokemon. Do I want a Mega Helioptile? That would be awesome. My favorite Pokemon movie is Pokemon Heroes. Have I ever done a 2-4-2 run? I don't know what that is. Hardest and easiest champion. Well, I'd like to say Cynthia's the hardest and Diantha's the easiest, but it all depends on how you play either game. If you go up against Diantha without using the experience share the whole game, then yeah, it's a challenge. If you use the XP share, then yeah, it's easy. But I'd say Cynthia's the hardest. I think most people would agree with me on that. What shiny am I hoping for to catch? Well, I'm hoping to get either a shiny Poochyena or a shiny Wingull, because I already have a shiny Zigzagoon. But if a Zigzagoon shines, I'll catch it just so I can move on. I'm not going to just keep doing this until I get one I need. Otherwise, I might be here for all eternity. I could get like 10 shiny Zigzagoons in a row. Or I could get a Poochyena and just be happy. What's my favorite song by Sweet Sisters? Maritime Melody, whatever it's called. The one during the end credits song. What is the amiibo I'm missing? Twilight Prince... No, I have that. Majora's Mask Link, the Best Buy exclusive. That's the only one I'm missing. I have everything else. In fact, I have all the upcoming amiibo pre-ordered as well. The only two I'm missing in that regard are the Inkling Squid, which, I mean, that should be common enough to get, and the Corrin Alts, which I'll probably get easily enough on that day as well. So, yeah, basically the only amiibo ever that I'm missing is Majora's Mask Link. I'm not going to pay any extra for that I have to. My favorite amiibo is Mega Yarn Yoshi because it is so cute. My favorite Mega Evolution is Mega Latias. Mario Kart or Smash Brothers? Oh, Mario Kart, I guess, because at least then there's not much difference in skill. Well, if you want to, Michael. I mean, if you were to get it right now, I don't know how much it is on eBay, but it's a lot more expensive than it should be, I'll just say that. Do I think there's going to be a Pearl and Marina amiibo? I don't see why there wouldn't be. And they'll probably do the same as Callie and Marie, where you scan them and then you can play all their songs. But I don't think it's going to happen for a while. I mean, we didn't get Callie and Marie amiibos until over a year after the game came out. So it might be that long for Pearl and Marina as well. I do think it'll happen, though. And when it does, you betcha I'm going to get those. Do I like Vulpix? Yeah, it's cute. It's really cute. How long have I been streaming for? About an hour and 6 minutes. Just a hair under. Who is my favorite YouTuber besides my usual group? That's a good question. Like, if you were to look at my subscriptions, I'm subscribed to like 200 people. I watch various people for all sorts of different reasons. Yesterday when I was working on my gaming room, I had the Angry Video Game Nerd on, and I binge watched that for like 5 hours, for example. But I watch Vanoss and his group. I watch a Kerbal Space Program YouTuber called Scott Manley. He's the best Kerbal Space Program YouTuber easily. I watch a lot of Kerbal stuff. I watch a lot of Pokemon YouTubers, obviously. Unlisted Leaf, Jwiz, Tamashi. You know, people that I'm actually friends with in real life, which is awesome. Glitch X City I subbed to because of her music, and this is the only music I ever play in the background of my streams, which is awesome. I watch Adam Koralik and all sorts of retro gamers. It's hard to pick a favorite just because I watch so many different people and they all focus on so many different things. Yeah, I watch Zach Scott games. What do I think will be in the next Pokemon game after Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? I hope it's Generation 8 on the Switch, but it'll probably be Diamond and Pearl remakes on the 3DS. No, Maximum. As far as I know, you could just, you know, you don't need any subs whatsoever. You could just have one stream ever and only one viewer on that stream, and that person can still donate. Splatoon or Breath of the Wild? Just to pick up and play, probably Splatoon. But when I really want to get an immersive experience, like when I want to just disappear into a game for an hour or two, Breath of the Wild, definitely. My favorite Pokemon before Helioptile was Latias, and before that was Nidoqueen, and that's as far back as it goes. Seriously, when Gen 1 came out, I knew immediately my favorite Pokemon was Nidoqueen, and I was 6 at the time. Oh! Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Cyan, I'm never going to do something like that. That's... wow. I'd be happy just getting through that game once with as few stars as possible. What's my opinion on the Wendy's roast? I think they're pretty clever. Whoever runs Wendy's social media should get an award. They should get a gold medal. I know Super Mario Gamer, they're coming to the 3DS, but someone was asking what do I think is after that. I think it'll be Gen 8 on the Switch, but I hope it'll be Gen 8 on the Switch, but I think it'll be Diamond Pearl remakes on the 3DS. That's what I think. Yeah, I'm doing the Splatfest on Saturday. I'm not going to stream it, I'll just be recording it and posting it as its own video. But I am doing the Splatfest. Do I have Victini? I have a Victini. Do I like Yoshi's Woolly World? I really wanted to like it. I just felt the game was a little too slow for me. And didn't really have that much replay value, unlike Yoshi's Island, which I played the same levels over and over just because it was so fun. I don't know what the difference really is. There's just something about Woolly World that wasn't as fun to me. No, Maximo. I think once Pokemon comes to the Switch, that's it for the 3DS. Not just for Pokemon, but forever. The 3DS is, what, 6, 7 years old now? It's going to last for probably another year. That's a really long time for a handheld. So once Pokemon migrates to the Switch, there won't be a reason for the 3DS to even exist anymore. I think it'll be, you have a year or two to get a Switch, to get Pokemon on the Switch, because once it's coming to the Switch, that's it. It won't have a 3DS port anymore. I mean, if they were to do a 3DS port, that's something that's never happened before, where they port the same game to an older system. They did make Gen 2 compatible with the original Game Boy and made enhancements for Game Boy Color, but that's different. It was all on the same cartridge. They never made, say, Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire for both Game Boy Advanced and Game Boy Color. So, yeah. How many devices do I have? Ooh, good question. I have a Game Boy Color, 2 3DS XLs, this one with my capture card, and a blue limited edition Pokemon X and Y one. I have a Switch, a Wii U, a PlayStation 4, and an Xbox One. I have a Sega Genesis, an Atari 2600, PlayStation, a PlayStation 1 that is, a Nintendo 64, and a Nintendo GameCube, and those are my gaming consoles. I also have a Blu-ray player, several DVD players, and VHS players. I have a television, a 48-inch widescreen television, and another one I'm hoping to pick up tonight that won't be as big, but it'll be perfect for my gaming room. Now, of course, I have this PC. I don't know what the specs are, but I did the comparison one time, and it's basically a gaming PC once I put the graphics card in. Like, the processor is an AMD, not an Intel, but it's about halfway between an i5 and an i7. So yeah, it's basically a gaming PC once I put the graphics card in. I mean, what else do you want to know? Yeah, I have a Switch. I said I have a Switch, Wii U, Xbox One, and PS4. Basically every console in the current generation. And once the Atari box comes out, whatever that is, I'll probably get that too. As long as it's an actual dedicated gaming console. That thought blows my mind. The last time Atari made a console, I was, like, the last time Atari was relevant was before I was born. And they're trying to make something to compete with the Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch. That's just amazing to me. Do I still trade Pokemon cards? Nope, sorry. I don't have any Pokemon cards left to trade. Anyway, what have I missed? I'll tell you what, I would love to get an NES and Metroid, and make Metroid my very first game for it. Honestly, I'm going to aim to do that in October during the Houston Arcade Expo. That's where I got my Sega Genesis and my Game Boy and Pokemon games last year. So this year I'm aiming to get an NES and Metroid. Unfortunately, that means it'll be like $100 for just those two things, but man, I want an original NES. I'd also love a Super NES, but that's not as high on my priorities list. That being said, once I get an NES and a Super NES, I'll literally be able to play any Nintendo game ever. Because the only home console I'll be missing at that point is the Wii. And, oh, I forgot to mention, I also have a Game Boy Advance, a limited edition, Japanese only, Latios and Latios Game Boy Advance still in the box. How cool is that? I made a video of that, that's how awesome it is. But, like, I'll be able to play any Nintendo game ever once I get those two consoles. As it is right now, I'm able to play any Nintendo game from the N64 and on, and any handheld. I have a Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, I forgot about that too. I have two 3DS XLs, so yeah. I'm able to stream it all too, because for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance, I'm able to play those on a Game Boy player and record the footage through my GameCube. And then for DS and 3DS games, I can just play on this. And then anything else I can just capture with my Elgato. So yeah, that's awesome. So, I'm sorry, I know I'm losing viewers now just because I'm rambling about what all I have, but I'm very excited that we are at this point in technology where it's not only easy for me to record any Nintendo game ever, but that there are people who will watch it. That's just awesome. Anyway, let's, do I know how to get older consoles? Well, for most of them, you can just go to a local retro game store and they'll have them. I mean, my local retro game store has all sorts of stuff. They have basically every major console. And it's even funnier is they had an Atari 5200 forever. Turns out the guy who sold it to them bought it back just because it wasn't selling and he wanted it back. Like if you want an NES or Super NES or an N64 or a GameCube or even a Wii, retro game stores have those. If you want a Sega Genesis or a Dreamcast, they'll probably have that too. So, yeah. Will I get the GameCube? I have a GameCube. I have a GameCube and several games for it. I have Super Smash Bros. Melee. Trying to think what else I have. Do I have Mario Sunshine? I don't think I do. I have Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't remember what else I have, unfortunately. Do I have a Helioptile plush somewhere in my room? I have it. Yeah, I have a Helioptile plush. She's in most of my videos, actually. Or, not my gameplay videos, obviously, but like whenever I need to display something or showcase something, then she's in the background for those. When Splatoon was announced, what was my opinion on it? Like, the minute it was announced at E3 2014, I thought, that looks like a game I want to get. So yeah, like, I was one of those people who I saw it and I thought, that looks like a lot of fun. And it was. And it was my most played game on the Wii U easily. Probably one of my most played games ever, and I just loved the heck out of it. I still do. It's just Splatoon 2 is coming up, so there's not much point to play the first one anymore. Do I still have my Helioptile card collection? Yes, I do. It's in storage, not on display, but I do have it. Excuse me. How many helioptile cards do I have? I think over 1,000. What was my favorite thing about Splatoon? The concept of it all. Not killing opponents, but splatting the ground and swimming through your own ink. That was a pretty cool original concept. That's what I like most about it. Yeah, viewership is dropping like flies. That's what happens. Did I answer your question about Animal Jam? No, sorry, and I didn't even see your question about Animal Jam. Whatever it was, I don't even know what Animal Jam is, so you might as well just save your fingers typing it all over again. Oh, that's awesome, Finny. I'd love to see that. My favorite map in Splatoon is Moray Towers. How ironic is it that my favorite map and Fishy's favorite map are both returning in Splatoon 2? Favorite weapon in Splatoon is the 52 gal deco. Got something in my throat, I think. Whatever. That's not exactly a good problem. Sure, that's not exactly a. That's not what I would prefer. I'll just put it that way. Okay, I'm sorry about that, everyone. That was weird. My stream crashed randomly for a split second, but it looks like I'm back now. That was odd. Sorry about that. It just disconnected and reconnected automatically. I don't know what that was. That was weird. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Yeah, I saw that, Emma. Favorite color in Splatoon? Light blue. The sort of sky blue color. Neon blue. Neon sky blue. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Oh. This is nice. I just realized the background music is Zinnia's remix, which is practically the only new song from OmegaRuby Alpha Sapphire, but it's playing during me playing OmegaRuby. Yeah. Silly Sylveon, you'll have to rephrase that. I'm having a hard time understanding the question. But better Little Judd or Judd? I like Judd better. Maybe the crash was a warning of a shiny coming soon. That's a good way of thinking about it. I sure hope so. I guess we'll see. Was I surprised Diddy Kong didn't return Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? No, not really. Diddy Kong sort of has its own racing game, so yeah. Did I do anything dumb when I first played Pokemon? Well, you know, when I first played the game, I didn't understand all the type variances and stuff like that, so I obviously, like, I'm thinking in particular, like, when I went up against Sudowoodo, it looked like a tree, so I kept trying to use fire attacks to burn it. Obviously, that didn't work, and I didn't realize what was going wrong. All sorts of stuff like that. I don't exactly remember specific things beyond that that I did wrong. Like, that was dumb, like, because I was 6 when the first Pokemon games came out, so I don't remember much about me playing through the games the very first time. What map do I dislike the most in Splatoon? I don't know. I like all of them for the most part. How many encounters before I get a shiny? I'm guessing that it'll be like 3,000 or 3,500, honestly. Like a long time from now. Planning on it, Majestic Koopa, why would I not? There we go. 2200. Let's see if this is a shiny. It is not. Did I ever fail shiny? I have yet to fail a shiny. Favorite Pokemon other than Helioptile? Latias. But my top 6 favorite Pokemon, I made a video about that actually. My Pokemon Dream Team. Go check it out. What's my favorite upcoming Switch game besides Splatoon 2 or Odyssey? Metroid Prime 4. I know nothing of the game, but I'm super duper excited for it. Oh, this is Legend of Korra music. Have I seen Team Edge? Nope, never even heard of it. Favorite shiny Zoroark. Yeah, viewers are just dropping. It is what it is. I'm just glad that we had over 100 for as long as we did. My least favorite shiny. I don't have a specific least favorite shiny, but the ones that look absolutely no different from the regular. For example, Garchomp. I guess technically Magearna is literally the same as a shiny, but that's just because you're not supposed to usually get a shiny Magearna. So they just programmed it in the games like, hey, you want to hack it to get a fancy shiny? Well, too bad, it's the exact same. So that's different. The ones that legitimately are shiny, but they still look close to the same, I don't like Garchomp. But there's plenty that look like that. Am I excited for the new Pokemon movie? I'd like to say so. The problem is we still don't know anything about an American release. What I would love is a theatrical release. But, you know, odds are it's just going to get a television premiere worth half the movie cut later this year. That's probably what's going to happen. That being said, Disney is in charge of the distribution rights right now for Pokemon. If anyone was going to make a limited theatrical release of a Pokemon movie, it would be Disney. They did it with Celebi Voice of the Force, and they did it with Pokemon Heroes. So, hopefully it happens, but we'll just have to see, I guess. How long will it take to beat the ShinyLocke? Probably a year or two. I wouldn't doubt that it'll just take forever. Because of my rule, I can't progress through the game until I catch a shiny. So, by definition, that means I've got to take the time to catch a shiny on every single route or cave or whatever that I come across. Later on in the game, it will be a lot faster because I'll be able to do stuff like chain fish and horde hunt and stuff. But for the legendaries, I'm going to have to soft reset. So, yeah. It'll just take a while to get through this game, I think. If I could add one more thing to Splatoon 2, what would it be? I don't know. I mean, Splatoon 2 isn't even out yet, so I don't know what's actually in the game. Favorite starter from each game? Charmander, Chikorita, Mudkip, Piplup, Snivy, Fennekin, Popplio. Sorry, Sagasi, I'm trying to do better at that, but obviously I failed today. So sorry. I am so sorry. Favorite Pokemon movie is Pokemon Heroes. No, not all legendaries are Sheer Squid. There are some that are, but the only ones that are Groudon. Well, this is OmegaRuby, so Groudon, Rayquaza, and Deoxys. Everything else you can catch as a shiny. Even Latios, which decides to join your party, and Latias, which you can get with the Eon ticket. Even those can be shiny. And then all of the Pokemon that appear in the Hoops post-game, those are all shiny as well. So, that's part of the reason why I reset this game and I'm doing a ShinyLocke, is because I'm going after all those legendaries as shinies anyway, so may as well. Ooh, that sounds like fun, Jen. Am I into musicals? I appreciate musicals. They're not my go-to medium of entertainment, but I do appreciate them for what they are. I don't know much about Hamilton. Or I don't know much about Hamilton, and I've never even heard of the other ones you listed, but there's some big musicals like Wicked that I would love to see someday. I was involved in a musical in college that was actually extremely successful. It was called All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. I loved that musical so much. I sometimes still sing those songs to myself, and it's been 5 years since I was in that play. They do have their place for me. They're not my go-to medium of entertainment, but yeah. Do I ever upload Pokemon battles? Nope, because I never do Pokemon battles. Did I ever see Moana? Yes, I did. It was a very fun movie. You're welcome. Have I seen new Transformers? No, I don't watch the Transformers movies. As long as Michael Bay keeps making them, I refuse to see them. I am not going to give them my money to tell them it's okay to keep making movies that bad. Have I ever done a stream on Splatoon? I've done several on Splatoon. It's just they've never been high quality and they've never been good. So I can't do them right now. Opinions on Pearl and Marina. I prefer Callie and Marie, but they're okay too. I mean, what else are you going to do in Splatoon 2? Force you to play the single player before you can hop online just so then Callie and Marie can do the opening again? Nah. I think that making the Off the Hook group was the right decision. Basically, it was either you make a new group or you not have a group at all. And they made a group and they look like they fit in the Splatoon universe, so why not? My favorite TV show is a 90s sitcom called Home Improvement. It stars Tim Allen. It was hilarious. It was my dad's favorite show, so it sort of grew on me as well. But man, I love that so much. Alright, we got 4 2s in a row. Is this our lucky number today? Nope. I'm sorry, I'm not sharing my friend code with anyone unless they have pledged to me on Patreon. Because, to put it bluntly, they have paid to play with me. You guys haven't. Just to put it that way. What Disney movie do I like the least? Ooh, good question. Probably The Three Caballeros. What Disney did during World War II and after was they made a lot of package films. They basically re-released their short films in long form and bundled them together and called it a full-length movie and published it in theaters, sometimes with some new interludes in between. Three Caballeros is one of them, and honestly, like, it's boring the whole way through, and then it ends so abruptly. I thought that, honestly, when I first saw it, that like half of my tape was missing or something, but I mean, it's still Disney. It's still really well animated, really well done, but it's not. It's my least favorite film. Is YouTube my full-time job? Yes, it is. I don't earn any money outside of what I earn from here. And hey, that means it's the best job in the world, right? Have you ever seen a hacker while playing Splatoon? No, actually, and I'm surprised so many other people have, because I've played Splatoon like practically non-stop for the past 2 years, and I'm just fine. I haven't seen a single hacker, ever. Have I seen Moana? Yes, I just answered that. Yes, I have. You're welcome. Should you get a Switch? Yes, I say you should. If for any other reason than just to get Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and now Splatoon 2 is coming out, but there's also stuff like ARMS. There's a ton of games to get for the Switch, and they're all really, really good. Am I ever going to retire from YouTube? I don't know. I'm sure someday YouTube will become irrelevant and I'll have to get a real job. I just don't know when that day will be, and until then, I'll just keep enjoying this and pretending it'll last forever. Can you go higher than 50 on Splatoon? Nope, 50 is the max. What do I think Splatoon 3 will be like? Honestly, I think if there is a Splatoon 3, it won't come out until after the next generation of consoles comes out. Like, whatever comes out after the Switch. Honestly, I see them just sticking with Splatoon 2 and just constantly upgrading it, rather than keeping Splatoon 2 out for just 2 years and then putting out Splatoon 3 after that on the same console. I really think that Splatoon 2 could last for as long as maybe 4 or even 5 years before Splatoon 3. And by that time, we might be in the new generation of consoles. If not, well, I guess we'll just see. But whatever they do with Splatoon 3, I'm sure they'll keep with kind of like what Splatoon 2 did. The same gameplay, but it's brand new everything else. So basically a sequel. Will there even be a Splatoon 3? That's a good question. I honestly don't know. If there is, like I said, it won't be for a long time from now. I honestly don't know, Sylveon, and that's why I'm not responding, because I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and I don't have a clue. I'm very bad at coming up with original ideas. Try to predict the main features of the next console. Oh man, I don't know. With Nintendo, it's anyone's guess. With like the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox 2 or whatever those new consoles will be eventually, I'm sure that it'll be promoting stuff like 4K gaming and more VR stuff and better graphics and being able to process more stuff on screen and whatever. Nintendo, I don't have a clue. Because they're Nintendo. They never follow the norm. If they wanted to, they could make the most powerful machine ever. So much so that even PlayStation and Xbox will pale in comparison. But that's not their game. That's not what they do. They went with the Switch, which is the most powerful handheld ever, but it's still a console. It's still a home generation console that you could just pick up and take with you if you so wish. Have I ever been to the Fort Worth Zoo? Yes, I have, several times. So honestly, with Nintendo, I have no clue, and I'm not even going to pretend like I could guess. Yes, Lightning, I am only able to catch shiny Pokemon. And I cannot progress in the game until I do. Means I cannot go to Route 104 until I catch a shiny here on Route 103. My favorite 3DS game? Pokemon Y. Am I planning on doing any VR vids in the future? No. One, because I don't have VR. And two, it's never that much fun to watch other people do VR. It's always more fun to just do it yourself. Do I like the Wii U, Xbox, or PS4 more? I like the PS4 more, honestly. It's just more user-friendly. It's not because of the graphics, because, I mean, PS4 does win on graphics, but PS4 and Xbox are basically tied on that, but it's just that the PS4 is more user-friendly. The Wii U, I did not understand what a Wii U even was until I got it. I saw all the trailers for it, the previews for it. I saw people playing games on it. I even went over to a friend's house and played their Wii U, and I did not fully understand what it was until I got one myself. The Xbox, I just got because I figured I was just done being a Nintendo exclusivist. What is there? Xbox, it's cheap, I'll get that. Then I got a PS4 because there was a huge deal on that as well. Plus a lot of my new friends are playing games on the PS4 and not the Xbox One, so yeah. So it just comes down to I like the PS4 because of the nice UI rather than because of the specs. If it were... I don't care about specs whatsoever. If I did, I would have a gaming PC and just say consoles were scrubs. I don't. So, yeah. Now, if I were to compare those three and the Switch, that would be a close call, because I really love my Switch. And, you know, people don't really know right now if the Switch is a current generation console or the first console for Gen 9. I'm putting it in Gen 8 because it is barely more powerful than the Wii U, still not as powerful as the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. But it's still a game that developers are finally saying, you know what, we can put our games on that, no problem. So, I would dare say that the Switch is Nintendo's first Gen 8 console, and the Wii U is halfway between Gen 7 and 8, although it is 8. So, like, I'm just going to make the Switch a Gen 8 console, and then whatever Atari puts out, whenever that is, the Atari box, that'll be a Gen 8 console as well. So, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, we're going to have 5 consoles in the 8th generation. We haven't had that many in a generation since Gen 5 itself. That had the Nintendo 64, the PlayStation, the Atari Jaguar, the Atari Jaguar CD. I'd like to say the 3DO was involved in that as well. But yeah, so there were 5 in Gen 5. Gen 6 had the GameCube, the PlayStation 2, the Xbox, and the Dreamcast. Oh yeah, Sega Saturn for Gen 5. So since Gen 6, we've had 4 consoles or less per generation. Gen 7 only had 3. The Wii, the PS3, and the Xbox 360. That's it. Gen 8, we already have 4, and we're probably going to get a 5th, the Atari box. So it just blows my mind. You know, last generation, it just looked like forever it would be Nintendo versus Sony versus Microsoft. Now it's Nintendo versus Sony versus Microsoft versus Atari of all things. And not only that, Nintendo put out 2 consoles this generation. That's just amazing. This is a really good time to be a gamer. Seriously, to be in the video gaming right now is awesome. What would I say to people who are against gaming? People have their reasons for not liking gaming. Like, my mom is 60, well, I won't say exactly how old, but she's 60-something, and she literally cannot play most modern games. They're like, she has a hard time understanding what's going on screen. Her fingers and hands and whatever are unable to react quickly enough, and everything just causes motion sickness for her. But when I got my Atari 2600 to hook that up, she never played that before, but we played like Pong, and then we played Breakout and stuff, and it was extremely easy for her to do that because it was nice and simple. But she doesn't like modern gaming for reasons that are completely understandable. Whereas me, I like gaming no matter what era. Like, the only games I don't really like are the Pong consoles and stuff, just because I don't want to have to pay $50, $100, $200, $300 for a console that can only play one game. Not to mention that I probably couldn't even hook up to my TV anyway, just because the technology is so archaic. But I like games from all generations. I love the history of video gaming almost, if not more, than I love gaming itself. So, to people who don't like games, they have their reasons, and I'm sure most of them are legitimate reasons. But I seriously doubt people who don't like games don't like every single game ever. I mean, you've got games like Mavis Beacon Teaches Typing, which I used that program on the computer for practically my entirety of middle school. I was able to get from 20 words per minute on the keyboard to over 100. I still type at over 100 words per minute because of a computer game that taught me how to type. There's all sorts of really good games that help you with stuff. That people, when they say they don't like gaming, they probably think of stuff like violent Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, fighting, shooting, killing games. They don't think of educational games, or simple puzzle games even, like Tetris or whatever. That's what I think. Like, people who say they hate games, they can't really mean they hate all games. Probably just the ones that, to be fair, are the easiest ones to hate. The ones that are violent, the ones that encourage you to kill people and stuff like that. Like, for that, I understand that you wouldn't like those games. But you're going to tell me you don't like Snake? I'm having a hard time believing you for that. Or am I going to make new games to play in Splatoon 2? I guess we'll just have to wait and see, huh? Yeah, you can still find a Wii in stores. They still sell it. They still sell Wii games at my Walmart. Not Wii's. I think they're out of those, but they still sell Wii games. They're in the clearance section. I got Metroid Other M for $10. Just because I know it'll probably skyrocket in price once Prime 4 comes out in a few years. I'm never going to play the game. It's a bad game, but I got it. Have I played GTA 5? Yeah, I have it, and I play it a lot. Obviously, I can't encourage everyone to go and play it because it is a violent game, and it's definitely not one for kids or whatever. But for adults who can tolerate that kind of thing, it's fun. You'll make a ROM hack for my Dream Team. Well, that would be fun. I'd love to see that. No, I've never heard of Soul Eater. Oh, what is it called, Jen? Have I played Pikmin? No, I have not. Got Metroid Prime free for $5. Oh, you lucky dog, you! Man. Oh, it's touche. I played an Animal Crossing game. I played Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival, and by the end of it, I just wanted to stab my forehead with a pencil. It was so boring. Honestly, I think Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival is the worst game ever for the Wii U. Oops. Yeah, well, L. Evans, it's mostly just because I have nothing else to do while I stream. I mean, what else am I going to do when I shiny hunt? It's just random encounters, literally. This is the worst method of shiny hunting there is. Full odds random encounters. But this is what I need to do this early on. Yeah, chain fishing does work in Oris. And Pokemon with abilities... No, chain fishing works exactly the same in Oris as it does in X and Y. Exactly the same. The abilities help, but the chain fishing still works just as normal. Why don't I deck snap? Because I'm unable to. In order to deck snap for Pokemon, you need to have first caught that Pokemon. I could deck snap for Zigzagoon, but I don't want a Zigzagoon if I could help it. Plus, deck snapping, you need repels, and you need to walk around a lot. Basically, it's more expensive, and you need to walk slowly, and it takes about as long as if you were to just do random encounters anyway. Why aren't I playing as a girl? Because when I booted up Oris long ago, I asked people to vote for whether I should be the boy or the girl. Everyone voted the boy. What's my favorite Splatoon game mode that's not hide and seek? I really love the Rainmaker. What are my plans for the Splatoon 2 launch? Get the game at the crack of dawn and just play it all day on Friday. Get a video out on Saturday and just go from there. My main in Super Smash Bros. Is Yoshi. Will it break your chain if nothing goes on your line? Yes, it will. I just answered that, Christian. Well, hold on. Were you even the one who asked that question? You were the one who asked that question? Guys. Guys. Spoiler alert. What a novel idea. If you ask a question, I might just answer. Also, Madison McLaurin just donated $1. Hype in the chat, everyone. I need to update this manually, but here we go. Okay, 116.43. There it is. There we go. But yeah, Christian, did you not hear my answer? I gave a long answer, too. Like, how could you miss that? Look at that, we're so close to 25%. That's awesome. Dark Matter, when I get the graphics card, I'll be able to live stream Switch games and Wii U games, so maybe I'll do hide and seek. We'll see. Yeah, I have a pet cat. Do you watch my videos? Yes, Matthew, I'm a Yoshi main in Smash. I don't mind answering repeat questions, but when you guys repeat the same question that I just finished answering, it's not that fun. It's so frustrating. Like, do you guys watch my videos? Have I ever read Harry Potter? No, I haven't. My very first Wii U game was Mario Kart 8. It came with the console. I got the bundle. It came with Mario Kart 8. I think I'll just go to 2,300 encounters. That seems like a good stopping place. I'll have been streaming for 2 hours and 300 encounters today, so that seems like a good stopping place. So that's 25 from now. You like my opera voice, my humming voice, I guess. See, I'm mostly tone deaf, I guess, but as long as I have the noise filling my ears, I can usually hum pretty closely. My singing voice is atrocious, though. I've already told the story about how that went. Do I like to stream? Yeah, I do. I try to stream as often as I can. It's nice being able to hang out with my fans, and this is great progress in finding shinies. Honestly, people who just shiny hunt on their own without streaming, I don't know how you do it. Because this is boring otherwise. What do I think Battle Royale? Honestly, I never actually played Battle Royale, except for the one time you're required to in-game. I could never find anyone else to do it with in real life. What's the time in America? It depends on what part of America you're in. For me, it's 5:17. If you're on the East Coast, like New York, it could be 6:17. If you're in Colorado, it's 4:17. California's 3:17. Alaska's 2:17. And if you're in Hawaii, it's only 1:17 in the afternoon. So, just a hair afternoon. Have I ever played an instrument? Yeah, I've been playing violin for like 16 years, I think. No, it's longer than that. Holy cow, it'll be 20 years next year. I play clarinet, piano, and percussion. mallet percussion, like a xylophone, glockenspiel, bells, stuff like that. Have you ever met Cayenne in real life? Nope, she lives in the Netherlands, I live in Texas. So, no, I have not. What was my reaction to Finnegan? It was, oh, well, that's easily the best starter from Gen 6. Oh, Frederico is from the future. Do I have any pets? I have a pet cat named Alex. He has appeared in several of my videos, as you would know if you had watched them. Do I plan on collaborating with anyone else in the future? Hopefully. I guess we'll just have to wait and see with who, though. There's some Splatoon art that is from Cayenne. I think I've only used, like, 2 pictures from her, though. Do I know Super Mario Logan? I'd like to say yes. Oh, I haven't. I mentioned this way earlier on in the stream, but I will be going to Columbia, South Carolina next month to view the solar eclipse. So if any of you happen to be in that area at that time, let me know and I'll try and schedule a meetup. That encounter took a while to find. My favorite handheld device? Probably the Game Boy Color, honestly. There's a lot of nostalgia I had with that little thing. Don't get me wrong, I love this this 3DS that has the capture card on it, because this does allow me to do all sorts of stuff for you guys, but my favorite overall is my Game Boy Color. You can go ahead if you want, Finny. It's over 9,000! Favorite food, macaroni and cheese. In fact, just thinking about it makes me want to make that as soon as I'm done with this stream. She does in every single video, Dark. It's just she does a lot, so I have to censor it. What exotic pet would I like to have the most? I would love to have a pet fox. That sounds like it would be fun, fun, fun. Yeah, my email is my YouTube name at gmail.com. So SkulSugarGoldTCG@gmail.com. Just copy and paste it. That'll make it easiest. Yeah, foxes are my favorite animal, too. Well, my favorite real-life animal. My favorite mythical animal would be dragons. I would doubt, Mythic, that it'll actually take between 3,000 and 3,500. That's when my guess is that we'll see it. When will the solar eclipse be? It'll be on August 21, and you will probably be able to see it from Ohio. Go ahead and do a Google search and see. How long does it take to find a shiny? You never know, and that's part of the fun of hunting for it. It could be your very first encounter. It could take a million. It doesn't usually take a million, though. But it does take a fair amount of time. Yeah, 1500 is a lot of soft resets. 15,000 rather. I'm trying to think what the most... I think my most encounters ever for Shiny was, like... It's this, honestly. What would my reaction be if they finally made a dolphin Pokemon? It would be, finally! And then I would love it. Did I draw the Zippy myself? Yes, yes I did. The opening animation was done by me. The middle picture of Zippy like this, if it appears on screen here. There, that one's drawn by me. I used to draw Zippy a lot. I just don't have time now since I'm actually making videos for the most part. Okay, we're down to just 3 encounters left for today. Excuse me. What's my favorite underwater mythical creature? Moby Dick, I guess. Okay, just 1 encounter left. Here we go. This is how the stream ends. We're either going to get it now, or we're going to have to come back and try again later. There we go. Ah, no shiny. That would have been a nice shiny too, shiny Wingull. Oh well. Well, that's how this ends. So thanks everyone for coming out and staying with me and for hanging out. Splatfest is in 2 days, so that's something for you guys to look forward to for those of you with the Switch. I will be recording it and posting a video on my channel next Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. And of course, Splatoon 2 comes out next Friday. Lots of stuff to look forward to, and next time I stream, hopefully we'll find a shiny, or if not, at least get that much closer. Go ahead and save my game and end the stream. That does it for now. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.